everyone, it's Dawn. Welcome back to the series of PAPERCRAFT Society Box 41. Hope you enjoyed your day off yesterday. I know I did, but I didn't have a day off, I just wasn't videoing. But today we're going to be making a 6x6 shaker card. Well, eventually it'll be a shaker card. But this is a 6x6. This paper didn't come in the pack. It came from my own stash. So this is one of those projects that highlights how you can use your own paper. And I'm going to use paper from the pack to show you how they can go together beautifully. And I've already cut down a 6x6 card and I've put a 6x6 inch mat on the front. And all of these measurements that you need, there aren't very many actually, but what you do need will be in the description box below. And I've used these two panel dies. I haven't used these from the box yet. So I've used both, and we're going to layer these onto some acetate to make our shaker card. So now that's the only problem with this, because obviously acetate is clear, you can't see it. But trust me, it's there. If I hold it to the light, hopefully you can just about see that. So hopefully you can see more than I can. So I have cut 2 of each of these panels, and I'll bring them over now. And what we're going to do for this, I'm going to use my red runner tape, because I think it's going to be the easiest thing to use. And we're going to, now it's going to be hard to do this so that you can see it. We're going to run this along the edges of the right edge, the right side, not the back, but the front. So let's just move the acetate over just a minute, just for a tiny weeny bit, like that. Yeah, we're going to do that, and we will run this all the way around the edge, and then we'll lay it into place. And once it's laid into place, it will stay, hopefully. So that's the first one done. And we're going to lay this over our acetate now, as long as I can find my acetate, because it's on the table and it just disappears. There it is, I think. So where's the acetate? There it is. So if I lay it so I can see it, sort of. Well, I can't quite see it, but close enough. So I'm going to lay that one down like that. So the acetate is going to be, do you know what? I should have put that on the back, but it doesn't matter, actually. Do you know what? It really doesn't matter, not for this type of technique. And this time I'm going to use one of the thinner ones. And again, this time I am going to put it on the back. The first one I was going to put on the front, but these ones I'm going to put on the back because I want that to lay down flat. So we will put them on the back. It doesn't really matter, to tell you the truth, because the pattern is just as beautiful on the back as it is on the front. So then we'll put the runner tape on the back, so that when we lay it down, this beautiful front part shows. So we're just going to slightly overlap it like that. Can you see that, guys? You can, good. And then I'm just going to tap it down like that. And we're going to do that one more time with another piece. We're going to do this with the big piece again. We're going to lay this like this. Because this is so different, I thought I'd just go through it with you, through each stage in real time, to see, so that you can see this building up. So I should have got myself another runner tape down actually, but hopefully we'll be okay. So we're going to lay that down like that. So we're just going to slightly overlap it, but as long as it hits the acetate, as long as it sits fully onto the acetate, we'll be okay. And then what we'll do, when we're done, is we'll cut the excess acetate down, and then we'll start the fun. And then after this little section, it'll start to come together really fast. So we're just going to do one more like that, pop that down like that, lift that up. I've got glue and sticky stuff all over my fingers, but never mind. So that is now safely on that bit is now safely on our acetate. Now what we're going to do now is lift the acetate from the table. I'm going to grab a pair of scissors, and what we're going to do, we're going to cut. I know you probably can't see. It probably looks like I'm cutting into thin air, but I promise you I'm cutting acetate. So I'm going to cut this excess of acetate off like that. So we're just going to cut that off like that. You can probably hear it rustling. So we'll just cut that bit off there like that. And once it's done, once it's all laid up, it measures roughly 5.5 by 5.5. And I have got a mat 5.5 by 5.5 here. This paper, this pattern paper, is actually from the kit, and I've got this on a double layer of foam tape. And what we're going to do before we take the tape off, we're going to add our shaker elements. Now this is where it goes all over the place. So I've got them in here. So we won't do too many, but we'll do several. Oops, that may be too many, but we can always take some out. But no, do you know what? I think we'll get away with it. So that'll be okay. There are lots of butterflies in there and sparkly bits, but that's a technical term, of course, sparkly bits. But I think we'll leave that there. I think we'll get away with that. I've got tape all over my fingers. Oh, well, never mind. Now, this is the stage where we take our backing tape off. If you try and take the backing tape off before, you're going to get sequins everywhere because they're quite static and they'll stick to it and they'll fly all over the place. Of course, the other downside to doing it this way is you get tape, your fingers stick to the tape. So either way, you've got to battle with something or other. But that's all right, well managed. And we'll just pop that off there. And there's just one more piece to peel off. Hopefully it'll behave itself and come off quite nicely. And it looks like it's going to. Wonderful. And I'm going to lay this. I'm going to lay this with the acetate face down. And that, if I just slide it into the middle, get rid of all these excess bits of acetate. Because they're quite difficult to see and I don't want them getting caught up. So now, again, this is 5.5 by 5.5, as is this mat, and I will add all of these measurements in the description box for you. And we're going to just lay that down like that, press it down, and we have our shaker element. That was easy, wasn't it? So when we pick it up, you can see them, hopefully, moving through there. And there are some left in there, but I'm going to pop that out of the way so that we don't end up sticking them where we don't want them. But now we've got to stick that part to that part. But because this piece is 5.5 and the other piece is 6, you've got that beautiful little border, and we do have some tape that's overhanging, but we'll deal with that in a minute. So what we've got to do now, I hadn't figured out how I was going to do this, but that's all right. I think we'll just run some tape on it, you know. So we'll just put some runner tape on the back of this. That's no problem at all. Just cover the back with runner tape. The red one, of course, is permanent. So pop this in the middle of our screen, or middle-ish. Again, it's a beautiful day. The sun is pouring through the window. And the only downside of that is all I can see in my screen is a black blob. So hopefully that's in the middle. We'll soon find out. Now there is a bit of overhang here. You can put some embellishments on there if you want to. I haven't planned any embellishments for this, so I won't do that now. But, well, not for the corners I haven't, but I will do later on. But what I have planned is this gorgeous, I haven't used this gorgeous sentiment here. It says, hope lots of surprises are coming your way to make your birthday a lovely day. And I've just backed that onto a piece of pink card. Now, I'll let you into a secret about this pink card. I nicked it from box 42 because I'd run out of pink card. Because of we were blessed to have 2 boxes in the same month, which is absolutely wonderful. I've nicked a bit of the pink card from box 42. So, sorry about that, guys. But it coordinates beautifully. And it seems to be a similar theme, floral theme, but we'll come to that another time. So that's going to go in the middle, just like that. And if you wanted to, if you've got like little bits hanging over like I have, you can hide those with a flower or an embellishment if you want to. For now, I'm going to leave that like that. You've got those bits and it will stand up really nicely. Oops, she says. But it really does stand up, I promise. If stand it quite wide, it'll stand. But if I hold it like that for you, you can see it. And those shaker elements do rattle quite nicely, and you can see them glistening through the acetate. Or you can, if you go by the window, we've got the window behind me from where I'm filming, and it's shining right onto there, which is really nice. So it's glistening quite nicely if I hold it up to the light. Yeah, if I hold it up to the window like that, the light, you can really see that glisten. So there you go, guys. I'm going to leave that like that for now. I will add some embellishments, maybe a couple of flowers in the 4 corners, but we can do that anytime. So there you go for today. There is our shaker card. I think we're going to call this a panelled shaker card, because we've got these 4 panels to make up our mat. So there you go, guys, that's it for today. I will see you tomorrow with our Saturday project. And until then, have fun, take care, happy crafting. And before I go, tomorrow is another technique where I'm going to be using something there are still a couple of things, not many, that I haven't used from this box. So tomorrow's project, Saturday's project, is going to be one of those projects where I show you a different way of using something from the box that we've not used yet. So pop back on Saturday, pop back tomorrow and find out what I get up to then. And in the meantime, take care everybody, have fun, and as always, happy crafting. Bye bye for now.